we are bouncing back with the help of our head of monetization, Rachel Mee. She is gonna make this company more money than that virus ever did. Ain't that right, Rach?
No.
I love this show so much. I'm always so excited to see it come back. It's easily one of my favorites, if not my favorite. One of the things I love that they really explore in season 4 is work-life balance. Because I even was watching it going like, maybe I need some better work-life balance in my life. You know what I mean? So did either of you bring in like a personal experience maybe or learn anything?
We're so bad.
No, Ashley and I are totally balanced.
No. We're zen. We've ascended. We are enlightened.
Just like, we go to the office and then when we're done, we shut it off.
We don't think about it. We don't
think about it again. No, the exact opposite is true. I mean, like, look, everybody that went through the pandemic, I think, was confronted with their own reality about how much of their self-worth and their purpose is wrapped up in their job. And I think we all went through that. And I think that as a show that's representing a modern workplace, we felt like we can't do that without talking about that work-life balance. Also, Poppy is a particularly funny character to do that with because she essentially doesn't need to, like, she's a person who thinks that peeing is like a luxury that you don't necessarily need to do, you know?
I forgot about that.
Yes. And so she's so locked in. And I think that there's a bit of people that are really good at their jobs where it's such a drug that you become addicted to because you're good at it and you're getting good feedback. And then it becomes this loop. And so it was really interesting to us, one, during the pandemic years, to talk about what happens when that work is removed. But I think also in a wider way in the series, it's about like, if you are collaborating and getting into a partnership with somebody, how much of your personal life do you share with that person and let them into? How much is good for your work and how much is unhealthy? And I think we're showing that in this season, in particular with Poppy and I, and as always, but also with Dana and Rachel, which is like, they're two people who love each other. They're in a committed relationship. They work together, except they don't really. They're like on opposite sides of the table. And so we have these interesting moments with them, which is like, if I have information that could help you, where is my responsibility to you versus my job of telling you that stuff? Also, what if I'm making more money than you are, which is awkward sometimes. So yeah, we get into a lot of that.
Yeah, Ashley, for you, what was it like exploring that part of Rachel and Dana's relationship?
I really love that we're doing that, honestly. It's funny because I think originally in the writer's room, I remember kind of when we were talking, because it's season 2, I think, when they kiss, right?
Yeah.
So I remember actually fighting against that, and I'm like, I was wrong. Because the nice thing that's like, once you answer the question of will they, won't they, then you get to tell like actual stories that aren't just, are they gonna kiss or not? And I think the cool thing about Rachel and Dana this season is because they're in a committed relationship, we get to tell stories that are relatable to people that are in committed relationships. Like Megan and I are both married. And so a lot of the writers are in relationships and stuff. And there are things that come up, like disparities in how much people make. And what sort of conversations does that bring up? What does it mean when like you haven't actually talked about what your 5-year plan is, and then your 5-year plans are like this, you know?
And your character is both your characters are young on the show, and you're going through such a transitional phase in your life, and you've met somebody, but like timing is such a big part of relationships. But yeah, I think definitely like delving into them, because you guys aren't defined by your relationship wholly. So really getting a chance to be like, oh, okay, Dana's like sort of an ego monster a little bit sometimes. And Rachel is very dumb, very, very dumb in a fun way.
Yeah. One of my favorite episodes this season is the murder mystery season. It was so fun seeing you guys all dressed up and everything. Can you talk about filming that episode?
Yeah.
And putting it together?
It was a blast.
It was the best.
Yeah, it was really fun. That episode we started breaking it because we needed Poppy's boyfriend and Ian to be in the same place at the same time, because we really thought that that episode was about the time when he would start crossing those boundaries they've created and would want to get in to be friends with her boyfriend and ask him a bunch of invasive personal questions. That seemed like Ian's MO. So we were like, how do we get them together? And we were talking about a games night, and it morphed at some point into a murder mystery thing, at which point like I was pulled into it because I'm a huge murder mystery fan and Agatha Christie nut. nut, and so, but I also love like escape rooms and puzzles, and I once made an escape room party for a friend of mine where I designed a whole escape room for him. So I was like, I'm one of these OTT party hosts. And then I was like, Joe would also be an incredible, like, over-the-top party host. And so once we started breaking it, Ashley was in the room while we were writing that episode, and it was really tricky.
It's so hard.
It was really, and we really wanted it to work, but I was like, look, we're not going to do it if it doesn't land.
Yeah.
Because the worst is a whodunit, that when you get to the end, people are like,
Oh, really? That's the ending?
that's the ending.
Which is why it's so hard to write.
Which is why they're very difficult to write. So we finally, when we cracked it open and we finally found an ending that we felt was unexpected and that people would really love, then it became the process of getting ready to shoot it, which was just a joy. Like, the directing that episode was so much fun, and all the cast showed up and they were so excited about getting to be in their special little outfits.
so
and like,
fun.
and then you guys were on a boat.
That's right. We were on a boat at the beginning, and
Yeah.
afterward I was like, do I need a suit? Do I need a 3-piece suit for my life?
I think you do.
Yes.
I think I might.
Yes, you do. That's the answer. Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. And like I said, I love this show so much, and I can't wait to see the finale of the season because they only gave us 9 episodes.
Yes.
And it's killing me.
This is not, 2020. The COVID bubble has burst.
Dude, the video game industry made $56 billion last year.
Yeah, down from 60 billion. We're down $4 billion.